Okay, we live today. Hi, I'm Forrest Gump.
I'm Todd Liner.
We're both herbalists with one desire, and that is to help any and everybody we can overcome today's topic, which is what? What we talking about today, Todd?
Constipation.
He said constipation, y'all. What is constipation? Okay,
Something
before you
that
answer
every
that, before you answer that, people are constipated and don't even know it. Now, this is a good topic because he- sickness starts in the intestine. So if your intestines are clogged like a pipe under the sink, if it's clogged up and you don't know it, something caused that. So the average person don't know when they're constipated, Todd. How do we help somebody who don't know they're constipated first and foremost?
well, first thing we have to do is help them realize that they are constipated. And so I recently had a problem at the house where the pipes backed up. See, you're not gonna be happy. You don't like when your toilet doesn't work and feces starts coming up or black water and backing up in your sink. You got to get that stuff cleaned up immediately. So same thing with your body. If you're not having bowel movements regularly, that means that you're constipated and you're backed up, and it's going to cause health issues.
Okay, so
Okay, so let me just make it clear.
okay.
How do you know if you're constipated? If
Okay,
you're
okay.
eating,
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just said they don't know they're constipated.
okay,
So one bowel
so
movement,
I say they do know they're constipated
you think they don't?
because yeah, they do know because if you're eating 3 meals a day and you're going to the bathroom once a week, common sense lets you know that you are. Where's all that food going? That means you're constipated.
But
So
hold on, it's a common sense ain't common no more. Who told you sense was common?
I said it was.
you,
I just
you
call it common sense. You
oh
should
okay.
know. You should know that.
They don't.
You just like
They don't.
you can't. You just like you can't just put trash in the trash can and not empty it. So you know that you can't keep eating every day and not have bowel movements. So
Once a week.
if you're saying that you don't know you're constipated, that's selective. That's you're selectively being ignorant because you do know you're constipated. You do know that you ate 3 times today. You ate 3 times every day last week, and you had a bowel movement one time. So you can't say that you don't know there's a problem with your bowel movements because you do know.
I
You're
have
just
talked.
choosing to ignore it.
I have talked to people who said they didn't know. They just said they didn't know they were constipated. They was going like once a week and once every 4 days, and they just didn't know that that's
Okay.
constipation.
Let me tell you how you know. I'm gonna tell you how they know they how I know they know. If you leave your if you okay, if you put some raw ground beef in the trash can and you don't take the trash out, your house is gonna start stinking. So you know that there's a problem. If you're eating a standard American diet and you got to use deodorant and when you do go to the bathroom it's stinking, you know there's a problem. It's the same thing. You
But
didn't take your trash out, the house starts stinking. You don't take the trash out in your body starts stinking. So you know that there's a problem with you being constipated. You're just choosing to be selectively ignorant of the fact. And by being ignorant of the fact, you cover it up by wearing stuff like antiperspirant and cologne, cool water, you know, Dracar, Old Spice.
so okay, but wait a minute, Tom. Back up. You said they covered up the shit. Okay, so the herbalist is telling y'all when you start spraying sprays because something smells bad, or if you smell bad, something is dead in your ass and it's been in there too long. If you
Right.
stink when you poop, something's wrong. Would you agree, yes or no?
That's true.
Because
That's
I
true.
I've had movements that don't stink. I'm not tooting my horn, but I guess since I've taken herbs for a while, my body has recognized the difference between foul and unfoul.
Mhm.
And the average person I know does not know that's a possibility. So as a herbalist, I'm here to tell you if you're constipated and you're going days without going, to the restroom and you're eating 3 meals but only releasing one, something's wrong. Now, okay, if a person is what give me some signs of constipation, Todd.
Okay, you've eaten 3 meals today, and you went to the bathroom once, and the volume that came out of you was as skinny as a pencil, and you know you had a 16-ounce steak.
Hold on, stop. You said they had 3 whole meals, but the volume came out the size of a pencil. Hold on, hold on. That's a sign.
That's a sign of constipation.
Okay, keep going. What else? Give me some more.
So, okay, another sign of constipation is if you're not having at least two bowel movements every day. Now, when you go to the doctor, they're not going to really address this. As long as you're not, you know, adversely sick, they're not going to address your constipation unless you come in there and say something. But you should be having bowel movements minimum once a day, but ideally at least twice or maybe 3 times a day. Consider the fact you're eating 3 meals a day.
Okay,
So
so,
if
so
you're not doing that, you are constipated.
okay, so not enough coming out after 3 meals or 2 meals. The volume, not enough volume after you consume. Okay. Uh, now what was that? What was the second one?
You know another way that people know they're constipated?
What's that?
When women have children, the baby goes to the bathroom, he eats, he goes to the bathroom, and you know what comes out of a baby?
Right.
Everything he ate comes out,
Right.
all of it. And you gotta clean him up like 2, 3 times a day
Right.
because he's not constipated. So
Nope.
you can't tell me that you don't know that if you have a child and he's going to the bathroom like that, why are you not going to the bathroom like that?
Never thought about that one. Okay, now give me some of the physical sign. Give me some of the ailments. Give me some things that causes some not cause. Well, yeah. Tell me what causes constipation. What causes constipation?
Eating the wrong foods. So you're eating things like cheese. Everybody knows that cheese will constipate you. Dairy products will constipate you. When you start noticing that your intestines or your stomach is starting to bulge out because you have like you know 50 meals that have not passed out of you, and now your body has to that food is sitting somewhere. So
So
it's sitting in your intestines, and so your intestines now you have a situation where you have 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds of undigested or half digested food in your body, or you have all this feces sitting in your colon. That's a sign that you're constipated.
so a bowl
So,
on your stomach. A bowl on your stomach could be a sign of
right,
constipation.
correct. So it's just more you being having a fat stomach. There's a difference between having fat. There's also the issue where you have your intestines are full of feces. So, like for example, John Wayne, when he passed away, he had like 40, 50 pounds of feces in his colon. So you really weigh 170, but you tipping the scale at 220 because you got 50 pounds of shit in yourself.
You call it doo doo there. They got 50 pounds of doo doo in their stomach. So and here's what people don't understand. When you eat, if you're not eating to live, you're eating for pleasure. You're eating for fulfillment. You're not eating to live. If you don't eat to live, you're not eating to live. So I call dead food shit. There's no difference. If there's no benefit, then you're eating shit. Would you say is that right or wrong? I mean, what's the
Yeah,
purpose of eating?
well, the purpose of eating is for nutrition, but most people are eating for taste. They're eating for
Ah,
taste, and they're eating for to eliminate the hunger pains that they feel. So that's what they're eating for.
so you're not if you're eating just for taste, that means you can eat anything just to fulfill the palate, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
But that don't mean you're sustaining the life.
Right, but you know that your body will acquire taste for anything that you put in it long enough. I mean,
That's
because you
true.
think about it, alcohol doesn't taste great, but if you
No,
keep drinking it long enough, you acquire a taste for it.
beer
You know,
tastes the worst, but people drink it like it's water.
because it tastes good after a while.
No, I can't say that. No, sir.
But people put it this way: people don't drink things or eat things that they don't like. So at some point, you start to enjoy
Right.
not just the feeling, but actually the taste of that beer. You
I
know,
can't do it. It's just taste. It tastes. I ain't never ate shit, but beer tastes bad. I know what shit smells like. Okay, so now what you eat and what you drink matters. Standard American diet is probably the worst diet you can possibly have. If you're not eating to live, that means you're eating to die. So you're either gonna eat to live or eat to die. Constipation is the result of eating to die, not eating to live, because the body uses what is good for it, and it sends everything else that is not as a waste. So that means when you have a full course meal in your stomach, if your body can't use it, it becomes shit. If it goes in as shit and the body can't use it, so basically you're eating shit. Does that? I mean, does that sound about right?
and then people also have to learn how to eat. I mean, even when you're eating, whether you're eating the right thing or the wrong thing, most people don't even chew their food enough properly.
Oh, I
They
saw.
take a couple bites and they're swallowing food like they're alligator.
No, bro,
You know,
no, bro. I saw a lady on Facebook do this. She was eating a meal, chicken, mashed potatoes, collard greens, of course, all cooked. And she would put it in her mouth and she would chew maybe two or three times and then she would swallow. That
yeah.
messed me up.
Yeah. See,
Um,
because there's a reflex. See, some people don't realize that when you're that hungry, there's a reflex in your mouth that will throw the food down. If you're not conscious of this, you'll chew up a couple times and your tongue will throw it through your throat, even though you haven't finished chewing it. And what
oh,
you have these, you're supposed to chew the food like 20, 30 times
yes.
to masticate it, to break it down. The
Down.
saliva starts to do the process.
Yes.
So that you got these big chunks of food that are going in your belly that aren't prepared to be digested, and then you're eating the wrong things. You're mixing proteins with starches, and you have all this half digested. Some people, I saw somebody today on Facebook. They had a plate of food. They had fruit on it. They had meat on it. They had vegetables. And so what they didn't realize that they were combining the food incorrectly, which is going to cause their body to have a constipation issue. And you're gonna have foods that's rotting in your system because you're eating fruits at the same time you eat meat, and that fruit is staying in your system too long because it's staying in there with the meat to digest. Now you got rotten fruit in your system. You know,
Oh my God. It's sitting there fermenting.
fermenting.
It's
Then
not
you got
broken
gas.
down. It's not broken down. It's in chunks and it's sitting in your intestines and the body's trying to process it, but it can't because you didn't break it down with your teeth. So therefore, you got these lumps inside the stomach that the body just ain't gonna break down.
Right. So, and all this leads to a, a digestive system issue. It leads to where you need to have probiotics because you're not able to digest properly. You end up having indigestion. You have constipation. These are all problems that are going to be associated with you not knowing what to eat and how to eat.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So if you're constipated and you probably don't know it, but if you're not going regularly, I go every time I eat. If I eat a meal, I release a meal. If you're not going on a regular basis, you are constipated. How can we help people with constipation, Todd? I mean, that's what we're here for.
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is assign the blame where it goes. I mean, I remember back in the day, you used to only give people 30-minute lunch breaks, and you didn't give them enough time to eat. So I was like, Forrest, you got to give people an hour. You know, people running the Jack in the Box, and they're like, that's when they get back. They're like, man, let me just gulp this down. So I think part of the problem is corporate America doesn't allow people enough time to eat, because you're rushing, and then that leads to you having issues. So to solve this problem, we'd be remiss if we didn't have like a solution for this and just sit here, criticize people. You want to do something. First of all, you want to clean your colon out first. So if you have a constipation issue, you're going to want to take herbs like psyllium husk, which is when you take psyllium husk and it hits the water or hits water test hits it, it expands, and when it expands, it's going to sweep out everything out of your body. There's going to be center leaves and pods. These are things that are going to be it's really good for helping your body clean itself out.
Right.
So you got to think about it like think about your body like a car. You can't drive around your car with a banana in the tailpipe because the car is, first of all the exhaust is going to come up in the car and choke you out, and the car is not going to run properly.
Okay. So the first step is let's clean you out. You know what? I think that's the ultimate step because even if you're not constipated, there's a chance that something is wrong because you may have been constipated at another point in time. Constipation works like the plumbing in your house. Damage in the system is caused by something else going wrong. A poor diet creates damage in the system. The
Mhm.
above average person is constipated and don't know it. If you're eating a standard American diet, you're causing problems every day with your body and you don't know it. So we recommend, herbs are the most natural way to release constipation, release stored food in the body. Herbs are, no side effects, no medication whatsoever. So, natural. So we recommend something like we have three different formulas for the colon. We have the colon formula, we have bowel mover, and we have Sinfin. Now,
Oh,
in that order, colon, bowel, and Sinfin.
but you forgot about intestinal. Is it intestinal
Intestinal
janitor?
janitor. Yeah, I got it, but I don't think I don't really promote that because,
Okay.
okay, so what's the difference between intestinal janitor and the bowel mover?
The bowel mover is stronger, so that's the strongest one. Well,
Okay,
actually, maybe Simpson might be the strongest.
no, Sinfin is the
Simpson,
strongest. Sinfin is the
Simpson is the
one blow the back of the wall off. Don't take that playing around. But now, okay, what's the difference between colon and intestinal janitor?
okay. So the colon formula is the most balanced formula. So it's gonna actually promote the bowel movement, but it's also going to get rid of parasites because there's black walnut holes. So it's going to do a lot of things besides just push the colon out, push the feces out.
Visa.
So
That's the
that's the
colon.
mildest, and that's
Oh,
probably the best formula people to use, especially if you're working. So you're not going to be taking this formula and then driving a bus. You got to pull over and jump out and go to the bathroom at
it's not gonna
McDonald's.
make
And
you do
so
that. It's not gonna make you do
right,
that. Okay. Now, intestinal janitor or bowel mover?
I prefer I prefer bowel movement because it's
I do
stronger.
too. Little.
That's for people that have like um, stuff that's lodged in their colon that's been sitting there for years. So it's gonna have the effect of actually you'll see when you take that one you'll see like balls come out of your colon out of your waste, and that means it's been lodged in your colon wall because the shape of your feces is based on what's going on in your colon. So if you see like balls or if you see different colors, that lets you know something. So if it's black, that means it's been putrefied. It's been in your system for maybe a couple years,
Wow.
and so once you start seeing these things, you will notice that your body is starting to heal because you're getting all this feces out. And plus, it's very important because you can't even get the nutrition from the food if you have so much feces in your colon because you
Because
have the
what do they call the little bitty
villi, yeah,
yeah,
and
villi, right?
mhm,
That actually pulls the minerals and nutrients on behalf of the body.
right,
And so if that's clogged up with shit, then it can't do its job.
right. So you just basically just eating food to give yourself the illusion of being full. You're not actually getting the nutrition,
You're
or you're
dying.
getting a limited amount of nutrition.
You're dying. Let's call it what it is. You're dying, and you're dying at an alarming rate. So you're killing yourself with your teeth. You're digging your grave with your teeth. Okay, so now we have formulas that assist in helping you that are all natural, that don't have no side effects. So you just have to figure out where you are, how long it's been for you. If you're just somebody who want to stay regular, we recommend the colon formula if you're trying to stay regular because it works like on a regular basis. It keeps you regular. Digestive. Now, how do digestive enzymes play a role in this?
Well, that's the bromelain and the
And the
papain.
papaya,
That's the
yes,
enzymes in the papaya enzymes, and
yes.
that's gonna have the effect of helping your body digest the food or break down the food, especially proteins. If you eat a lot of meat, that's gonna help basically like break it down for you.
So,
See,
well,
people have to realize that you're not a snake. A snake can eat something whole and break down the bones and everything, hair,
Yeah.
skin, everything. Your digestive juices are not strong like that to break down, anything that goes in it. So you have to be careful what you're eating.
Because you are a herbivore.
Right.
So that means you must have plant substance. That is your diet. Your teeth structure is designed for you to have plant substance. Now, most people don't want to have plant substance. Most people say, well, you know, my meat, I gotta have my meat, I gotta have my meat. Meat is the number one poison on the planet. Meat. If it's not wild caught, it's the number one poison on the planet. 80% of all the drugs sold to the meat houses are sold to the meat houses.
So you're
Drugs,
talking about,
80%.
antibiotics and stuff like that.
GMO, genetically modified organisms. Hold on. Antibiotics, preservatives. That's how they have to give those animals those drugs because that's what protects and keep those animals alive. Where you're consuming those drugs that they give the animals. Your body can't utilize that. You didn't come on this planet needing medication at all. There are no minerals and nutrients in medication. Zero. If I say those words and prove to you that there are no minerals and nutrients in medication, then you are being bamboozled because you are under the assumption that that medicine is going to save your life. It can't possibly save your life if there are no minerals and nutritional value to it whatsoever. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Herbalist.
So let me get this straight. So you're trying to tell me there's no iron in aspirin? That's what you're trying
No,
to tell me?
sir. Not one iota that your body can use. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just checking to make sure making sure you get you communicating effectively here now.
Okay. So now you know there's no benefit to pharmaceutical drugs in your system and you eating the meat. And some people say, well, Mr. Herbalist, what can I go get meat? You got to tap into us to find out how to replace the bad with what I believe would be good, just good enough to keep you alive and not harm you at the same time. You got to
Mhm.
you got to tap into the membership. You got to tap into the website. You got to tap into the calls. You got to come on and ask questions. I'll answer the questions when you ask. And until then, keep listening because we're going to always give you a solution for whatever kind of problem you got. And I don't care what it is. If you got herpes simplex 15, we got a solution. Yes or no, Mr. Herbalist?
Yeah, we got a solution for everything. Okay,
Okay.
so what you're telling people is if they're constipated, number one, they want to get a colon formula, or one of our colon formulas. It's colon formula, bowel mover, or the Synfin formula. We want to deal with if you have a digestion problem, we want to get the digestive enzymes. There's also a digest aid formula there that we have that helps you digest food as well. So, and then you have to use your common sense and know that you need to be chewing food properly. You need to be combining the food properly. You can't be eating fruits at the same time you eat meat. There's a science to this, and it's unfortunate that no one teaches you this when you manifest in the world. Your parents are supposed to teach you this. This is something supposed to be handed down, but we've lost that science, and so now we've got people just eating randomly. When you look at nature, every other species eats based on their what they you don't see pandas eating things that they eat the same thing. They all eat the same. A giraffe eats certain things. They stick to their prescribed diet. And they don't have degenerative diseases. They're not walking around here hopping like you don't see a kangaroo hopping around popping Viagra because now his erectile dysfunction problem is coming up because he's been eating this way.
Oh, stop. I love this. We gotta, this is part one, by the way, because this is so really good. And I think this will benefit y'all. We're going to stop right here. And then we're going to have a part two because everything you're saying makes so much sense. And our
Okay,
goal is to help people, right?
that's our goal.
Okay, so
So we,
go ahead.
you gotta be like Joey the kangaroo. You can't be having these type of problems.
Okay, so until the next video, guys, you see the number on the screen. You also see the website. Call us, talk to us. Until the next call, find out, how you can get the more information so you can start healing instead of dealing. Because when you go to that doctor, he gonna deal you. Okay, he gonna deal out your drug. Okay,
He
and
like cost you too.
and it's gonna cost you way more if you took responsibility of your own health. Come in here, learn with us, grow with us, and get better health. My name's Forrest Gump.
I'm Todd Lyman. You guys
Until
have a nice evening.
next Wednesday, let's do this again. Peace.
Bye
You
bye.
crazy. You crazy.